do. Yeah.
It's passion. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like, I love playing against India in India because everyone's against you, but it's the hardest conditions to play in for us. It's
Yeah.
like when you guys come here, it's hard
Yeah.
conditions for you because you're not used to it.
Yep.
So you've almost got this more motivation to succeed,
Yeah.
but
No,
it's
that's
very
why. I mean,
difficult.
I personally love uh, playing against Australia. Whenever there's an opportunity to play against Australia, it's a different feeling. And last year when we were in Australia, uh, when we won the series, which has never happened before in the history of Indian cricket, it was good for us as a team. I know you guys were missing, but still, I mean, what the bowlers did there, what the batters did there for us was a great boost. And actually, we were quite looking forward to this year's tour as well. I hope somehow, both the boards, Australian board and Indian board, they somehow try and manage to do something and get this series underway, because it'll be great for the teams as well, firstly, but also great for people to start cricket with. That'll be a great
Mm.
series for people to watch, and that's a great way. Will be a great way to kick off, the cricket in the world, if that happens. I don't know. IPL is likely to happen at some stage as well, but I have no idea about what uh, what date or what month it would be. Once everything settles down a little bit, probably will be a better idea for us to judge whether it is likely to happen or not. But I'm really looking forward to that Australian tour. Oh, I hope it really happens in Jan or Feb or whatever, whenever it is. I really hope that happens,
Yep.
because we love coming to Australia. We love playing against you guys. It's a great contest with you guys. We know once we go to Australia, once we land in Australia, nothing comes easy. Uh, Not just the runs or the wickets, but also when you are out, buying, out shopping or anything. Nothing comes easy there. So we love coming there, and it's one of my favorite places in the world, Australia. I love going to Australia.
The crazy thing is, when you guys come here, it's like we are playing an away game. Your supporters are crazy. Like,
Gee,
they come out,
I know,
and
I
we
know.
absolutely love it. Like, you get the Swami Army, you get the drums coming out. It's
Yeah,
one of the series I always look forward to, and that's one thing I like playing against England as well, because of the Barmy Army. You've got
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
much external stuff. And people, it's not rude of me saying this, but when we're out playing a test match in the field, sometimes you're standing out there going, all right, when's the day going to finish?
Yeah, yeah,
Especially if you're having a tough day, but everything just gets you through the day. And when everyone's up and about and whatnot, it's fantastic, and it's awesome. And actually, watching that series was quite challenging, because you can't do anything, you can't help anyone. Your bowlers
yeah,
were on point, like obviously we had some left-handers in the team, where your guys, I think, hands down, probably the best attack against left-handed batsmen in the world. Like,
yeah. Just to
they
take
they
the ball
they
across.
they, they zero in on one spot, and
Yeah,
very rarely do those three guys miss their spot.
yeah,
And it's a big credit to the way that you guys prepared as well. But mentally as well, like, it was a great thing for obviously Indian cricket, as you said, but it was hard to watch. It was very, very hard to watch as an Australian cricket player, because, one, helpless. I couldn't do anything.
yeah,
Um, but I know the guys fought well, and obviously, as we talk about rivalry,
yeah.
obviously, I hope it does happen, because we get another opportunity to go against each other, and I'm looking forward to that battle again when we come back over to India.
Yeah.
Um, because they're the series that people don't realize. They're the ones that you, like, basically, you're not how do you say it? You're not meant to win those series when you go away to an opposition country. You're the
Yeah,
underdog.
yeah,
You're prepared to put up a great battle, but
yeah,
when you do win those, it means so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that I wanted to ask you. It's I'm sure it must be really hard for you to be away from the game during that phase. Um, but you made a great comeback after that. Since IPL, that was the first tournament you played after that. And
Yep.
if I remember, you had solid impact when you left for the World Cup preparation, and then the World Cup, and then obviously Ashes didn't go, but you got a highest score for Australian. No, not the highest, the second highest. Hayden, how
I think
much?
that's, yeah. Hayden highest.
329.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
At the
so I mean,
Wacker. He didn't.
yeah.
He didn't run much.
Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, I mean, it's been a great comeback for you. Mentally, it must be tough, challenging to get through that phase and then to come out and perform the way you have in IPL, World Cup, and thereafter. What sort of things you were doing? I heard. I mean, we heard that you were not allowed to even practice to go to training. So it was damn tough, man. It's just
Yeah.
how did you manage that period for you?
It was challenging. The first sort of I'll say 3 months, I didn't pick up a cricket bat. I just said, right, well, I'll just enjoy the time I have with the family,
Yeah,
do what I can to sort of keep motivated, having it taken away from you, out of your control, and as you said, not being able to practice. Um, it was a time for me to sit back and just enjoy family time.
yeah,
Um, I really enjoyed that, and as I am at the moment, we don't get breaks. We don't get to put our hand up and say, "I want a month off," because it's not possible. You
yeah,
know, we we try we try to play all three forms as much as we can.
yeah,
Um, I saw that there was a tournament in Canada that was happening, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go there and play some decent cricket amongst some great players. A lot of the West Indian players were there.
yeah,
Steve came and played, so I had that there, and I had the Bangladesh Premier League as well,
yeah,
to look forward to. But I think just spending the time at home and and working on like my fitness. I stayed on top of my fitness. I didn't pick up a cricket bat, and I think the longevity now has helped me. I think having the time off has furthered my career probably 2 years maybe.
wow, great.
As you said before, like, three daughters, you got a daughter. People don't understand. We do have one of the best jobs in the world. We love playing cricket, but the
Yeah,
challenges we face are, leaving the family at home, the wife to look after the kids all the time. It's not fair, and for us, it's about, leaving the game in the right way.
yeah,
For the next kid to come through and take our position, and leave the legacy that they want for Australian cricket or Indian cricket. And we have all these other tournaments we can move on to. Once we're done with our international career, we can keep playing IPL. We can keep playing in the Big Bash here and whatever other leagues there are, because it's great to keep us in the game at this age moving forward, and it's
yeah,
great for the young guys to come through and move our international cricket on as well. So, but yeah, to sort of summarize, that was just more keeping on top of my fitness, spending time at home, and having that drive and passion to come back and say, look, I still belong here, and I deserve the opportunity again to come back to play for my country, because everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day. And
yeah, absolutely.
to come back, and what we always talk about, people like to knock people down, bring them back again, and it just has that ebb and flow kind of thing to it. But it's been good. That IPL was one of the things where I enjoyed, was coming back, not having to captain, and being under Kane, who's one of the nicest blokes in the world,
Yeah,
and seeing his knowledge about the game and how he reads the game.
yeah,
Um, it was good in that sense as well, because I got to just enjoy the game, which
yeah,
it sort of, people don't realize the pressures that actually come with performing in every single game that you play, whether it's for Australia, India, IPL franchises, or the hardest thing I find back playing is like domestic cricket, like same as you, Ranji Trophy, because there's
yeah,
more focus on you. You play for your country, where you should be dominating state cricket, which
yeah,
you should be, but sometimes you're not going to be able to.
yeah,
It's very difficult. Like, some of the guys you've never faced before, never seen before. You can get a good ball.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
especially after playing so much international cricket, you have to go back and play state cricket. It's kind of challenging for you to pick up and be motivated to go and perform. It's not that
Yeah,
easy because you're always used to playing under the high pressure situation with so many people watching you in the stands, and suddenly that being taken out, it's kind of challenging, and it's little you got to find motivation to go out there and play, which
yeah,
is why you do you try and not get dropped from the squad. That's what happens. If
yeah,
in India, I don't know about Australia. Australia, like a lot of you guys still, while you're playing for the national team, you still go and play domestic cricket. But for us here, it's very tough to play domestic cricket because our domestic season and international calendars, they're together. So we really
yeah,
can't play domestic cricket unless you're dropped from the team. Only then
yeah,
you have chance to go back and play.
yeah.
Um, Speaking of this empty stands, you guys were the only team who experienced that against New Zealand. The first ODI you guys played, it was in empty stands. How did that feel? I think this is going to be the future of cricket, at least for a while.
The most bizarre thing was, as a batsman, when you play a shot or the bowler bowls the ball, you always look up to watch the replay. There was
Yeah,
no replays.
yeah,
There was
that's
nothing.
good. Yeah, yeah,
So you hit a shot and all you hear is the echo of the cricket ball, and
yes,
then you might hear one or two claps from the boys. But
yeah,
it was really bizarre. Like, we're so used to calling yes, no, and I was like, you don't need to say it that loud anymore. Like, it's like yes,
yeah,
mate. But
yeah,
it was really really bizarre. It was literally like we were playing a warm up game. Like, it was really surreal. It was it, it wasn't hard to get up and play it, but like, it was more the fact that, like, you're like, how do you know what it's like at home watching the game? Like, it was really really bizarre. But it was a good game that we played against each other. But I don't know how long you can sort of sustain that, because you gain you gain momentum from home crowd advantage. You gain your momentum from, when you hit a nice shot, the clapping from the crowd, it gives you that motivation,
yeah,
and gives you the adrenaline. It is so bizarre. And like, now our rugby league is starting up again, and they're playing in front of no crowds as well. I watched a couple of games before on TV before it got shut down. It's just weird watching.
yeah.
It's really weird. So like, it's very hard. I don't know what it's going to be like if we come there and the IPL goes ahead at the end of the year. You've got to be very, the government's doing this for the right reasons. Obviously,
Yeah.
lives are being lost. It's not like, they're not saying don't go outside because, they just don't want you to get infected. They don't want you to catch it. They don't want you to spread it.
Yeah,
And like, here, a lot of the people have been listening, and there's a lot of people who haven't been listening.
yeah, it's the
So it's
same
challenging.
situation in India as well. And we've got so many people here. That's very hard, and it's very hard to control everybody. Like you saw what happened outside the liquor shop. Um,
I
but
saw
yeah,
police making people do push-ups in the street.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're finding ways to scare people. Like like that is one of the things that they did. The other thing they did was chopped off someone's head with the razor. When took him, made him absolutely bald. So they're doing different kind of like all this weird kind of stuff to make people scared. But eventually, it's our responsibility to make sure that just try and stay indoors. And the only way we can contain this is by doing that. There is no other
Yeah,
way
exactly.
until we find a cure or a medicine for this. We got to
Yeah,
stay indoors. I mean, that's really the only thing we
exactly. I got one question with Shikhar. Does he make you face the first ball?
He's an idiot. What can I say? He doesn't like it, man. He doesn't like to face the first ball.
He always says to me, The
Yeah,
only time he ever wanted to face the first ball was when Harbhajan was bowling.
yeah.
He
He
goes,
likes
he
to
goes,
take on the spinners, but he doesn't like to take on the fast bowlers. Uh, but
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
like, same as
I
Finchy.
remember.
Finchy always makes me face the first ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same here. I remember there was this. This was way back in 2013, the day when I started opening the batting for India in limited overs. It was my first game as an opener, second game as an opener uh, in Champions Trophy. And Shikhar, I asked Shikhar, okay, Shikhar, we're playing against South Africa, guys like Steyn, Morkel. I've never faced them with the new ball. Okay, so you got to take the strike, man. He's like, no, Rohit. I mean, you've been playing for a while. This is my first tour. I mean, I want to. I can't. I mean, you got to do it. I said, really? The guy who's a regular opener doesn't want to take the strike, and he wants me to take the strike. And then I took the strike. The first few balls, Morkel bowled. Morkel was Morne Morkel
Quick.
was yeah, he was bowling the new ball. The first three balls, I didn't see the first three balls honestly because I was not expecting the bounce.
Yeah,
I was not ready for it, and I don't know how the new ball will do.
yeah,
Especially in England. And if I remember, it was absolutely cold that day as well.
yeah.
But then that was my first experience with Shikhar. But now, yeah, we're comfortable, like, shit, talking
Because that's
about, okay, if I have
Finchy
told him,
always says to me. Like he says, if it's a left arm fast bowler, he wants me to face because he doesn't want the ball coming back into him.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the same thing for me. I don't want the ball swinging away from me
Yeah, I mean,
because we're not
I,
used to it.
yeah, I mean, especially now, in Mumbai Indians, I open with Quinton de Kock, and he's brilliant. He told me the first day, okay, here's the deal. We will do it alternate games. Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
alternate games. Okay, you take one game, I will take one game. That's fine. I mean,
yeah.
that's more than enough. But I mean, I'm used to it now. I take the first ball every time. So for me, right now, it doesn't make a difference. But imagine the first time I was opening the batting, and then this guy comes and says, "No, I can't take the strike." I mean, sometimes he's very annoying as well. Like in the middle, I'm setting up the plan. Okay, this guy is bowling, and this is his plan. We have to try and do this. 5 seconds later, he goes, "Okay, what did you say?" I mean, imagine, you're under tremendous pressure. You're in the middle of the game, and then this guy comes and says all these things where it kind of makes you frustrated. You don't know how to react to that.
One thing I always love batting when I was batting with Shikhar. Without fail, last ball, he's going to run a single.
Yeah. Yes, he
Without
wants to do
fail,
that.
first ball and last ball, he will run no matter
Yeah.
what. And it's
Yeah.
always like a little dab to point.
Yeah. And
Who,
he's got that weird thing where when he defends the ball, he takes that one or two steps and then he
you
goes
think
back
he's going to
again.
run?
Yeah.
You think
I
he's
mean,
going to run?
for a non-striker, it's so confusing whether he's going to run or not. So now I've decided, over the years batting with him, I've decided I'm not going to run unless I see the ball. It's going in the gap. I have missed many runs also doing that, but I have no regret because I was in trouble many a times because of that. I said, boss,
I,
unless I see the ball going in between, I'm not running.
I am glad that you said that because I was like, when I was batting with him at Hyderabad, I was like, I hope someone can say the same thing. It's very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. Unless he hit an aerial, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wasn't running. I couldn't run.
Yeah, I mean, we've not ran out each other so many
It
times,
was
but still,
it was actually it was very similar batting with Gigi. Gigi
yeah,
was the same.
yeah. He likes to
Always
tap and
always
run.
look to
Yeah,
run to third man, or
yeah,
he'll run. Sometimes you know what it is? If they hit a good shot out of the middle, they'll run.
yeah. But I mean, I enjoy batting with him. The only reason is like he's so elegant on the offside, and he likes to
Oh,
take on the bowlers with the new ball, and that allows me to take time because naturally I'm not an opener. So for me to find boundaries in the first 10 overs is not easy, which is why at times you see I like to go aerial and play those cross-batted shot, which
Yeah,
has gotten me into trouble many a times. But Shikhar, on the other hand, he's so good with his hands on the offside, and
yeah,
he you know, if you look at the average boundaries that he hits, it's in the first 10 overs
yeah,
when the fielders are in, and he likes to do that. And you know, I'm the opposite. I like once the field is spread, and I can take singles, and you know, it makes my job easier as well when I'm batting with him. So in a
yeah,
way,
definitely.
you know, he's a little irritating, but at the same time, he's done my job also. So I'm
No,
happy.
exactly, exactly. And that's one thing I liked about with him is he can relieve pressure in the matter
Yeah,
of two or three balls, always, because he's always looking to score.
that's his mindset. With you've been with Sunriser for a lot of years now. How it has been now? You've been appointed as a captain again. How's the franchisee? How's you know, the owners? Do they put too much pressure of winning games? And is it like the same? Uh, you know, with us, like with us, you know, there is pressure for sure. You know,
Yeah,
but that pressure, I think, as of now, I mean, we've started enjoying that pressure, and we know how
yeah,
to handle that. Is it the
yeah.
same for you guys as well there?
Yeah, I think early days, I think the hardest thing as I think a franchise owner, because they're so successful in their right, in what they do, they're very successful.
Yeah,
Um, for them to understand how a cricketer goes about their business, about their training, um, you know, some days, you know, we're going to be waking up sore. How do you like transfer the training onto the field? You can't win every game. It's not possible to win every game. You
yeah,
might, but they've gotten so much better over the years I've been there. Like the last 3 or 4 years, minus the year that I was out, they've been wonderful. Like they understand exactly how we go about our business. Um, you always have the questions of, you know, why, you know, what went wrong. You always have your debriefs,
yeah,
and like at the end of the day, you know, they're a great family. They're a very well respected family. I can't speak highly enough of, you know, the chairman and his wife and his daughter. Like
yeah,
they always make us feel welcome, and I think that's the best thing about when you go to a successful franchise is that you feel like you're part of the furniture, like you're a
yeah,
family. You
yeah,
know, I know when I was at Delhi, I really enjoyed. Kieran was the owner from GMR.
yeah, yeah,
He's a wonderful guy, really
yeah,
wonderful guy.
yeah,
But sometimes in the back part of the business, you know, you get a couple of people who might ruffle the feathers a little bit
yeah,
and cause some like animosity between players. And you know, you can only play four overseas. So the hardest thing is if you've got a couple of overseas who believe they should be playing, when you got a team who's been picked, you should be supporting the team. I know
yeah,
in past teams that I've played in have been like a bit like, you know, I should have been playing, but it's like, hang on, the franchise can only pick four players. It's very difficult. So having been with Sunrisers, they totally understand everything, and I can't speak highly enough of them because they've treated me and my family well. They treat the guys well,
yeah,
and I think the respect that I have for them, you know, obviously asking me to be captain again,
yeah,
because I had so much respect for their decision last year because it was right. They just wanted me to play with no pressure, freedom, and
yeah,
and do what I do best, and I really enjoyed that.
yeah,
And like, you know, I actually watched the Mumbai Indians documentary, and look, I can say it as well, being through this test series that was on Amazon, it
yeah,
does become um, a bit claustrophobic because the camera's around all the time. So
yeah,
you've got to be careful sometimes with, you know, what you say, how you behave.
yeah,
You know, there's been games where I've come in, I've thrown my bat and, you know, broken the chair. You know,
yeah,
you obviously you can't do that. But we get angry. Like we you know, we got out. We're angry at the way that we got out.
yeah,
But you know, I love that series, and I could see the passion from your owners, and the son. You know, he makes me laugh
yeah,
because he's so passionate and driven for
yeah.
success, and
It's
that's
quite,
why. And it reflects down on the players as well, and it
yeah,
helps. You know, it obviously must help having Sachin around as well. You know, for younger guys to see Sachin, to speak to him, to be in the same change room, like man, that's a big thing,
Yeah,
and that must motivate a lot of the guys.
yeah. I think that's what IPL has brought to the table, like especially for the younger guys who, besides playing for their state team, they get to rub shoulders in IPL with all the international players, with all these big names in Indian cricket as well. So that is one thing that they've done really well. And I
Sorry,
really
Charles just said, "I've got patience watching the documentary."
I was waiting for his comment to come because honestly I was a little surprised that he hasn't commented on it yet. There he is now.
Him and
Who's
his TikToks as well.
who in your team is like Chahal? You know what I mean?
Oh, Khalil. He does not listen. He does not. He might as well walk around with the phone taped on his head.
Oh, these guys are crazy.
But yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what IPL has done, bringing all these players together. It gives them a great opportunity. And when I talk to them now, all these younger players, they seem to be so confident about their game, about what they want to do. So it's in a way, it has done wonders over the years. And I think
Yeah.
I really hope that this pandemic, stops pretty soon, and then we get to do what we love and start playing cricket again.
There was someone before, they said something about we're no Smith and Kohli, but at the end of the day, we make Smith and Kohli because we take the shine off the ball.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
the hardest job in the world. It's like being president or prime minister. You open the batting. You're like guinea pigs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people also tell me that because the reason you have scored double hundred is because you open the batting, but they don't understand what happens with it when the conditions are
Exactly.
tough, when you have to face guys like all these guys who bowl 150 plus. It's not easy. I mean, whatever we try and do is in the best interest, and also, I mean, any position you bat, it brings the own challenge. Whether you open the batting, you bat number 3, 4, 5, and there onwards, it's a different challenge. But
What goes through your mind? I haven't scored a double hundred in one day cricket, but do you get to a point where you just go, all right, I'm just going to try and hit every ball for a boundary?
I don't do that quite often. But honestly speaking, I feel once I get past 100, I feel uh, I cannot really get out unless I make a
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah.
Because when you have scored 100, you've obviously put pressure on the bowlers. You are seeing the ball nicely. You are aware of the conditions, and you know who's not in great form in terms of the
Yeah,
bowling options at that point.
yeah,
So you know all of that. So you try and figure out your way and just try and get through that 10, 15, 20 runs, and then there onwards from there. I feel
yeah,
I've always talked to myself that you can't get out unless you make a mistake. So you just make sure that any bowlers who's bowling at you, you just try and find boundaries rather than hitting big shots. Boundaries are as good. So I try and hit boundaries rather than hit sixes and try and hit big shots. I mean, I also know that I'm not such a powerful hitter. It's better for me to pierce the field rather than clear the field.
yeah,
So these are the options I calculate, I analyze a little bit, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. And which don't be biased here, but where's your favorite Indian place to bat? Which Indian ground? You're playing 2020 cricket. You're not playing test matches or anything like that.
I mean, I have great record at Eden Gardens for sure.
Yeah,
So I would say Eden Gardens because all the memories, important memories have come at Eden Gardens. Like my first uh, IPL 100 is at Eden Gardens. My 264 when I scored was at Eden Gardens. My first Test century is at Eden Gardens. So I actually love playing at Eden Gardens. It's just got something different about that place. The outfield is really fast,
Oof,
and it's a paradise to bat.
that
I
ground
love
is something special.
Yeah, and I love batting in Melbourne as well. I love that atmosphere.
Melbourne's good.
The whole stadium itself. I just love it. I just love that.
Yeah, it's a. I love batting there under lights because you got like all the lights just shining down on you, and it's
Yeah,
like it actually feels like you can't get out. But that's how you feel when you're out there. It's a beautiful place to play cricket. But on like in India, like I can't go past like Dharamshala is one of the most picturesque places I've ever played cricket. Like that test
yeah,
match, we played the test match there. Like I was like, I could sit here for weeks. It's so peaceful. It's calming. It's like it's like you're not. It's like you're not in India. Like it's crazy. It's like you're
yeah.
in
It's sometimes you
Switzerland
feel
or
that.
something.
Yeah, you feel that way sometimes because how beautiful it is, and especially the mountains and all that behind the stadium. It's just unreal sometimes.
Keep on here, keep saying RCB gonna win. RCB gonna win.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I tell you
uh,
what, they've had the best. I think honestly, they've probably had the best team for 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we honestly speaking, we sit and plan for RCB more than any other team because of their
Agree.
batting lineup. I
Yep.
mean, their batting lineup is just unreal, man. To have that batting lineup, our meeting finished. I mean, it goes up for a couple of hours, especially when we
Yep.
play against them. So yeah, it's been unfortunate, but I think they've got balance this year. That's the reason. I mean, I was looking forward for this year because all the teams, if you look at it, they've got great buys this year. You know,
Yeah.
so
This is very
was
good.
yeah. So I was sitting and analyzing about all the composition of the different squads. All the teams, they look very much in balance. Uh, and yeah, I mean that's something that we can hope for the IPL to happen, and we'll see, what the players and
Do you
all can
reckon
do.
if they? Do you reckon ever will there be a chance to play five overseas?
Yeah, they might do that. I'm
If you
hearing
add
about.
two more teams, I think you have to. But if
Yeah, I mean
add
five
more,
five overseas will it'll be
sorry,
it'll be,
that
it'll,
pause.
it'll be di- it'll be different, but yeah, when probably they add two more teams, it'll be nice
Yeah,
to have them. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be good. I know in the Big Bash here they're talking about another overseas player, but it's very challenging because you have your players that are coming through
yeah.
as well. So you have to give the opportunities to obviously the local players. But if you add two more teams, it's very difficult because I remember last time when we had two new teams, you you want to strengthen the competition. So you got to have your best players spread out all the teams as well. And
Yeah,
like
absolutely. I think
like here in Big Bash, we're not available all the time either.
yeah.
So it's very difficult. It's very
When do you
difficult.
think your borders will open up? When do you think you guys will be allowed to start traveling outside?
I
Because
think I
if
think for
I'm being
business you probably can. For business you can, but I think
sports,
you have to come back and
yeah,
still do the 14-day quarantine.
yeah.
But I think if you go overseas, it's for business travel. It's recommended that you don't, but they will be doing something where they can put parameters in place for those who are actually going overseas.
So let's say if we guys want you over for IPL in September or October, whether will you guys will be able to travel around that